Hello and welcome to Crowforest Reviews. So today, in the interest of copyright-free reviews, I am going to review my own movie. Crowforest the Movie 2. Or possibly Crowforest 2 the Movie. I'm a little unclear on that one. And I made the thing. Oh well. This is Movie 2 of the Crowforest series. The movie opens with a dramatic trailer shot of Crowforest and Crime Show Fairy tied to chairs.
What the hell? What's wrong?
Okay, Crime Show Fairy, this time you've gone too far.
What did I do?
Without any actual rope, since the budget of this movie did not extend to rope. And then the camera pans up to reveal the giant form of the Phantom looming over them, thus revealing that they were in a miniature all along. Wow, what a twist! I'll bet you didn't see that coming. Most people wait until the end of their movies for the twist, but not me! Anyway, after the overlong opening credits sequence, we get a brief flashback of the dream sequence cutaway of the end of the Spider-Man review. And then cut back to Crowforest and Crime Show Fairy, still tied up in the miniature without ropes. And they do a review, which we do not see. Instead, we just get this awkward transition.
This is...
That's...
that. And so, the moral of the story is don't kidnap people to complete your collection.
Wow, it's almost like this was intended to be a series of interconnected YouTube videos and not a movie. Cutting out the copyrighted review segments just makes the transition stiff and awkward. So anyway, cut to the next day, where Crowforest and Crime Show Fairy have finally realized that this movie's lack of rope budget means that they are actually free to get up and walk around. As they presumably have been this whole time, but they're just now catching on. And so they wander around the house, completely aimlessly. But hey, cool shots of the miniature! So after another awkward non-review transition, and a random inserted clip that has nothing to do with anything, which seriously did make it into the movie cut of this, we get a cool montage of Dr. Noonian and Harvey warping into Lego World and walking around aimlessly. Seems to be kind of a theme here. But on the plus side, some of the shots are really cool, both in the miniature set and in the big set, though some of the effects are very questionable. But hey, some of the effects are good. Also, it's worth noting that this sequence goes on for way too long. But in my defense, I really needed to pad this thing out to 56 minutes. Yeah, this movie is only 56 minutes long, but there is still just so much padding. So after that, we get a cool pan-around shot showing off all of the various miniatures out in the sunroom in a sequence which resembles, but in no way rips off, a similar shot from the movie Hereditary. This then transitions into a montage of mostly repeated footage from earlier in the movie. This sequence, too, goes on for way too long. So after that, we get yet another awkward non-review transition, and then we get an awkward foreshadowing line about how silly the demon cult twist in the movie was, and how incredibly silly it would be if there was also a demon cult twist in this movie.
What did I miss?
A demon cult.
Damn it, I love those.
Yeah, but this one didn't even make sense. It's like the whole movie, it looks like this lady is just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and then twist ending, it was a demon cult the whole time.
Hey, maybe that's how we got into this situation too.
Yeah, wouldn't that be ridiculous?
Which then cuts to the dramatic reveal that this movie does, in fact, have a demon cult twist ending.
Come with me. Our community was overrun by a cult. This cult, which started out as a very small group, soon gained a large following, and before long they had accrued enough power.
Oh, the dramatic irony. So after one final awkward non-review transition, as well as a dramatic reading from the Poisoner's Handbook...
Prologue, poisoning. Until the early 19th century, few tools existed to detect a toxic substance in a corpse.
We finally put the overlong trapped in the house sequence of this movie to rest when Dr. Noonian and Harvey rescue Crowforest and Crime Show Fairy. In a very disappointing sequence. And for once, this sequence isn't even overly long. In fact, it's a bit on the short side. Almost as if I forgot to film a bunch of clips that would have made this sequence make more sense. Not made sense, mind you, but made more sense. But no, after a silent rescue sequence, and a line from Crowforest and Crime Show Fairy,
Thanks!
It's about time.
who are clearly in a different location, as well as some questionable voiceover work.
Are you ready to go yet? Am I ever? I'll be glad to sleep in my own dimension tonight.
The scene just sort of ends. In the next scene, Crowforest is talking about how he's not going to let anyone take over his Thanksgiving review this year, just in time for the Phantom to swoop in and take over his Thanksgiving review. Oh, the dramatic irony. So then, after another obviously forgotten line that's replaced by this stock footage of a line that's sort of close...
You didn't really think you had defeated me, did you?
Kind of. Are you sure I have to do this? Yeah, kind of.
We get the Phantom's awkward review transition, followed by his even more awkward music video. Abandon thought and let the dream descend. What raging fire shall flood the soul? What rich desire unlocks its door? What sweet seduction lies before us? Okay, so the Phantom clearly wants to bone Crowforest, and considering they're both played by me, never mind. I'm not even going to get into the Freudian implications of this. YouTube might have to start paying me just so they can demonetize my videos. So after that, we get a dramatic villain monologue, which is legitimately kind of scary.
Did you really think there was no trace of me left? I left you a present ages ago, and though my plans were delayed by the countless aeons that I spent trapped in the Phantom Zone, I have been biding my time, waiting for this very moment.
Followed by a dramatic box opening scene. Yeah, that's a thing now. So Crowforest finds a key, a skeleton key, if you will, and he wonders what it goes to, despite the fact that it should clearly open any door. Boo. Boo! Crowforest remembers about an old work shed behind the Phantom's lair, and so, via some very questionable editing, he goes there to unlock the door, finding this rather creepy sight. wait a minute. Is the entire reason for this movie's very existence just this one dramatic shot? And the rest of this movie is just filler to give this shot something to go into? Yes. Yes, it is. So Crowforest goes back, and then Harvey goes to check it out. And thus we get a repeat of the clips that we just saw mere seconds ago. Yeah, I feel like that worked better in the episodic version. Anyway, after that, we get a genuinely cool thing in the form of one of the original miniatures from the first movie, but now the inside of it has changed from its previous form, so that it still matches Crowforest's bedroom, despite having redecorated. Then, out of nowhere, Dr. Noonian fetches the Necronomicon from Lego World.
Oh, just some old book calling itself the Necronomicon, or some such.
Well, that escalated quickly. So after some pointless dialogue, we get yet another montage wherein Crowforest reads from the Necronomicon, which is clearly just a dictionary with a few added pages. Pages which are clearly not attached, and which are completely different colors. Once the montage ends, Harvey asks Crowforest where he got his wands, and in answer we get yet another flashback. But unlike the first one, this one actually consists of never-before-seen footage. I mean, it's not like anyone was asking to see this footage, but still kind of cool. The shots with the robed wizard person are actually very, very old footage that I shot probably 15 years ago. And the Crowforest shots are also somewhat old, since I shot those 5 years ago for Crowforest the movie, in order to tie in with the older shots so that this sequence could be in the first Crowforest the movie. But I ended up cutting the scene from that one, so it's here instead. And aren't you so glad it is? You might have missed out on ever seeing that. So Crowforest makes some lame excuse about how he can't possibly banish the Phantom until the Demon Days, i.e. after Christmas, thus giving the excuse for one final review sequence.
So where does that leave us? The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Boo. Boo! So then, Crowforest finally defeats the Phantom once and for all. Twice and for all? And it's embarrassingly easy. Seriously, why didn't he just do that right from the start? Yeah, Demon Days, whatever. So that was Crowforest 2. How was it? That was not nearly as good as the first one. I'm really glad that I'm now making a proper movie with the miniature from this movie, because having that incredible prop only ever appearing in this piece of crap would be a crime against cinema. So now, I think I'll go ahead and shamelessly plug the trailer for In the Attic.
Is anybody up here? Hello?
Thanks so much for agreeing to store these for me.
Oh, not a problem. I don't even use my attic, so I won't miss space. What in the world? My attic. At first I thought it was left by the manufacturers as some kind of scale model, but it doesn't make any sense.
Did you just set this up to spook me?
No! How are you? I'm serious, this isn't fucking funny. Get out of my house!